Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to this week's weekly webinar. This week we're going to do a deep dive into shipping costs and the different factors that affect shipping cost, how to potentially save money or things to watch out for or take into consideration when thinking about shipping costs. So let's get started. Here's the agenda today and the overview here. So diving into looking at what are the different carrier options that are available. Generally, the shipping options fall into two categories. One is USPS, United States Postal Service, and the other one being FedEx/UPS. They're both pretty interchangeable. We use FedEx right now. So for USPS, the different shipping options that are offered include, first one is Ground Advantage. This typically ships in 2 to 5 business days. This used to be called First Class, but recently they rebranded this to be called Ground Advantage. Before this, First Class also used to only be available for things less than £1, but now they've extended that to slightly larger packages too. The next option under USPS is Priority Mail, which ships in 1 to 3 business days. It's obviously slightly more expensive than Ground Advantage, but it does ship faster. And then USPS also has an express service, Priority Mail Express, which ships in 1 to 2 business days. Now for FedEx, the shipping options are, the first one is Ground Economy. Ground Economy is a little bit interesting because it's actually a mix of FedEx and USPS. So how that works is that FedEx picks up the packages from us. They deliver it to nearby USPS post offices and then or distribution centers, and then the local USPS post offices do the final leg to the customer. This helps bring the overall cost of the shipping down. However, it does result in slower delivery times because of the handoff between FedEx and USPS. Also, generally, as it gets closer to Christmas, we do not recommend Ground Economy because it's just not as reliable service as all the other services. Ground or Home is the next service offered by FedEx. They're essentially the same thing, but Home goes to residential and Ground goes to commercial. This takes 1 to 5 business days. Again, all the shipping times depend on how far away the delivery point is. The customer is from the delivery point. We do ship out of both Kentucky for the East Coast as well as California for the West Coast to help bring down the shipping times. And we generally try to route our orders based on what's the closest location. FedEx also offers second day as well as overnight shipping. Okay, so oops, sorry, give me 1 second. So what are the factors that influence shipping cost? There's 2 primary factors. One is weight, and then the other is dimensions. For weight, I guess just as a general heuristic in terms of which shipping carrier to pick, if you're looking for the lowest priced. For lighter weight packages, USPS may be cheaper, especially for things under £1 because that can ship first class or what's currently called Ground Advantage. If it's slightly lighter and closer to the shipping destination points or our ship from locations of Kentucky and California, Priority Mail is actually not so expensive. However, the cost of Priority Mail scales up pretty quickly based on distance. So for further away places, then Priority Mail doesn't become the cheaper one. For dimensions, dimensions also correspond pretty directly with weight. Most of our packages end up using what's called dimensional weights instead of the physical weight, because the carriers base the dimensional weight based on the size of the package. They'll assign a weight value to it. Because our packages generally are pretty lightweight, generally it ends up being the dimensional weight instead of the physical weight. So generally, as packages get bigger, they get more expensive as well. For dimensions, after a certain threshold, you can offset the pricing on larger canvases by offering like a slightly smaller canvas so that the dimensions fit within certain size breakdowns. We'll share the details of that in a little bit later slide. Is there a chat message? Okay. Oh, can't hear the audio. Is that? It's fine. Okay. So just some information on things, some surcharges that might affect pricing. These primarily are surcharges that affect FedEx. You don't have to worry about these too much, in the sense that if you just look at the price from the pricing calculator, from the shipping calculator, it already incorporates all these surcharges inside. But these are just more as like an FYI for your information. So one thing that affects shipping cost is residential delivery charge. And again, this is more for FedEx, doesn't affect USPS. If the package is delivered to a commercial address, it is cheaper than delivering to a residential address. There is a surcharge for delivering to residential. There's also surcharges for FedEx for delivering to what they call remote addresses. So basically things that are more rural locations. And there's two levels of it. There's a delivery area surcharge for kind of the rural areas, and then an extended delivery area surcharge for the really rural areas. The size and the weight, there are specific size and weight breakouts or breakpoints rather, where there would be surcharges called additional handling surcharges, as well as oversized surcharges. These are pretty important to watch out for. Again, we'll go over the size breakouts or breakpoints in following slides. There are some peak surcharges that are currently in effect too. They're actually in effect year round. They go up slightly more during the holiday season, as well as address change surcharges. So we have to reroute the package once it's shipped out. If we can change the address before it ships, that's great. If we have to update the address after FedEx takes a hold of the package, they do charge a surcharge for that, I think in the tens of dollars, to reroute and then change the address. So what are the pickup and freight options? If you live or if you are nearby either of our two facilities in Anaheim, California, or Louisville, Kentucky, you can elect the pickup option and come to our store and pick up the products. If the print is too large, for example, if canvases are larger than 47 by 60, or really 45 by 60, they can't be shipped with FedEx. Well, they can, but it's $1,000 surcharge. So effectively, like it doesn't make sense to, right? For those, you can select the pickup option during checkout. Currently, that's the only option available, but we are looking towards building a specific option for freight later on. In the customer notes, please indicate that you would like it shipped freight, as well as where you would like the package shipped to. And you can also send a note to our customer service team for this, but we would recommend putting it in the order notes when you're placing the order. as the best result because we won't have to try to catch it and intercept it afterwards. Freight costs typically run between about $200 to $500. If you have bulk purchases where there are a lot of prints in the same order, we can also ship that freight as well. But we can, at that point, we can look at what's the cheaper option between just shipping multiple packages by ground or home versus throwing on a pallet and shipping it freight. Okay. So let's get into specific cost points, as well as where the breakpoints are, where the shipping cost kind of jumps up between each segment. So for prints, so this page is specifically for canvas prints and framed canvas prints. The top part up here is specifically for stretched canvas. Excuse me. So less than 30 by 40 stretched canvases, the shipping costs are $8 to $19. Depending on the size of the print that's being ordered. So 30 by 40 is sort of one break point, right? The next break point up is print canvases that are sized up to 40 by 40, 36 by 48, or 30 by 60. So between the first prints that are less than 30 by 40 and prints that go up to these sizes, there's an additional handling surcharge on top of this, which is what, as well as, it's just heavier, right? Bigger. So that pushes the price point up into the next section. Just above these sizes, so let's say we have a 41 by 41 print, the price jumps up significantly, right? To like shipping costs jumps up very significantly to $150 to $200. So because of this, it's pretty important to keep in mind where the breakpoints are for the shipping sizes, and typically that's why you see some of these sizes as default sizes, because again, if it gets even an inch larger than these, the shipping cost goes up over $100, so it's not really quite worth it. The next size breakpoint is up to 45 by 60. So sizes up to 45 by 60, or roughly 48 by 48 for square sizes. The shipping cost is $150 to $200. This does have the oversized surcharge on it, which is why you see such a big jump between the second tier of shipping cost as well versus the third tier of shipping costs. And if it's larger than 45 by 60, then again, freight would become the shipping option that would be used. We do have a number of customers who order like extra large size prints from us, and we do ship freight pretty regularly. So that is one option for getting extremely large sized canvases over to your customers. So these are all for stretched canvas. For framed canvas, there are some tricks or recommendations that we have, or suggestions that we have for you to really keep freight costs in line. So specifically for canvases that are at the second tier of sizes, we recommend sizing the image size or the canvas size 2 inches down, and which really means that the outer dimension of the frame becomes the 40/40, 36/48, and the 30/60. It's like a quarter of an inch smaller than 40/40, but again, most customers won't know the difference between that. So what that means is, instead of ordering a 40 inch by 40 inch canvas, during the ordering process, you should order a frame canvas. You should order a 38 by 38 inch frame canvas, and this refers to the image size, right? So again, the total outer dimension, including the frame of the print, does end up being 40 by 40 anyway. But this would save, over $100 of shipping costs for you. So again, if you're selling prints frame canvas at these breakpoints, we recommend sizing 2 inches down to avoid the shipping charges really going to the next tier and getting really expensive. We'll be building these sizes in as default options also for the frame canvas into our website so that it's easy for you to select those. Okay, so moving on to fine art paper prints. If it's less than 1 pound, the tubes or the triangles can ship in USPS first class. In general, like this goes between like I think up to $6 something, but this is a bit cheaper than the rest of these. USPS Ground Advantage, we actually just got a price break from FedEx for USPS Ground Advantage. So if you do use that, you probably notice that the cost for this has come down. So we're very happy to pass the cost savings that we've negotiated onto you. So that's made FedEx Ground Economy rather. We got a price break on that. So that's made the ground economy a little bit more economical. So for things, just 1 pound and slightly above over to a couple of pounds, ground economy is a good option to use, or priority mail. Again, if you're looking at the cheapest cost, you can just use the shipping calculator, or when you're going through checkout process, you're presented with the menu of shipping options there, and then you can select the cheapest option there. One note is that FedEx charges a pretty big surcharge for it's called additional handling surcharge packaging for tubes. They don't handle like tubes very well, so they do put a hefty surcharge on that. Which means that if we're shipping things FedEx, we do have to ship things in triangles to avoid the surcharge. But for USPS, we use the tubes for shipping currently. We are in the process of redesigning and getting new triangle shipping that's even more sturdy than the packaging that we're using. So that will help minimize the damages that we see with that kind of packaging. So now obviously shipping cost does vary with shipping quantity. So if you order, multiple prints of things, the price does get more expensive. But you'll see that shipping cost actually does scale pretty well with increased number of pieces. This is because paper prints are relatively lightweight, and we can package a lot of them together. Which means that if you do order a bunch of paper prints together, if your customers order a bunch of paper prints together, the shipping costs scale pretty well for you in that respect. Like shipping cost doesn't increase super lots based on ordering more quantities of paper. Okay, so next product to talk about is metal prints. Metal prints, because they're relatively lightweight, they can ship between a mixture of ground economy, priority mail, or ground. Here you can see a range of shipping, the lowest shipping costs based on different sizes available. So from 760 up to 1330. Right now, the largest metal print size we make is up to 2436. And we do offer fixed sizes. But we are in the process of being able to offer larger prints too, so that, keep an eye out on that. That'll be coming soon. Framed fine art prints. So both for framed canvas as well as the framed fine art prints, we do add extra padding onto the prints. What we do is we strap the prints onto a piece of cardboard and then put that into the box. For larger fine art prints, we actually even make what's called air cells. So like basically like a box within a box as cushion and rigidity that keeps the larger box rigid so that it doesn't bend and warp and then break the print. That makes the boxes a lot more sturdy for shipping. What this does mean is that the box size does become roughly 4 to 6 inches larger than the outer dimension of the print size. And also the print size, what's called the glass or acrylic size, right? There is an additional frame outside of that, so that does add another inch or so also on top of the print size, including the mat. So that's why you see the size breakpoints actually are a couple of inches smaller versus the canvas size for each of these ranges of pricing, shipping prices. So here you'll see like less than roughly like 26 by 36, the shipping costs range from 8 to 20, up to 36 by 36. It ranges, or 4 inches smaller than the other, the other ranges of canvas size that you saw before. It goes between 20 and 30. So, and less than 40 by 60, the shipping cost ranges from 150 to 200. Again, greater than 40 by 60, it'll be freight. So how to reduce shipping expense? If you are in a rush to get the prints, or if your customers are in a rush to get the prints, we would actually recommend looking at the same day and next day production options, so rush production first before going with rush shipping, because the increase in rush shipping cost, let's say if you order next day shipping versus let's say ground shipping, the price jump is pretty big. The cost for same day or next day production is generally pretty small. So again, we recommend choosing those options first versus expedited shipping. If again, if the timing works out that way. The other thing to consider is for those, particularly for framed canvases, but for any canvas where it's kind of at those borderline sizes, where there's a big jump in shipping price, keep in mind where those breaks are, and or whether it makes sense to order the alternative slightly smaller size product to avoid the huge jump in shipping cost. So how does shipping cost affect your product price? We get this asked periodically. What is the how should I charge shipping, right? One way is to just get an average shipping cost and put that in. The other way is to kind of build it into your product price and offer free shipping, or build in parts of the shipping cost into your product price and offer free shipping. You can kind of calculate your shipping costs. We recommend using a New York shipping address. And I think roughly about 10% of shipments go to a remote address. So you can use that rough heuristic to say, okay, if remote costs this much, shipping costs to New York costs so much. You can just take the shipping cost to New York and add in 10% of the shipping cost to the remote to get sort of the higher end of the shipping cost that you might expect, and pad that price into your print price to get what price you want to charge to your customers. Sorry, add that shipping price to your product price. That would be your overall cost, right? Then add whatever markup you want on top of that for your profits, to get to the overall cost that you want to charge to your customers. Lastly, we do get questions asked about international shipping. We do international shipping when we have a customer request for it. We limit international shipping for canvases or for prints up to 24 by 36, or for canvas prints. For roll prints, since they're rolled, they can ship larger. This is due to the size restrictions for shipping international. We do only ship using USPS right now, because we found that there are a lot more shipping issues shipping FedEx international, between like customs issues, the end customer receiving the products, and then if they have to pay duty on it, sometimes they'll reject the shipment and send it back. So international shipping is a little bit tricky in that respect. We usually don't encourage it, particularly, shipping costs are a little bit higher, or a lot higher also because of that. But again, if you really want to do it, we do offer it. And again, the size is up to 24 by 36. Again, here, the risks are highlighted here. A large number of packages do get lost or marked as undeliverable, or rejected by the customer. So it's just a watch out when you are looking to ship internationally. And that's it. So, all right, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your day.